Yo, what's up everybody? Welcome to the Rune Sunday stream. If you guys can hear me, please do save something in chat. I just do want to double check. Mayav unfortunately not here, so I guess I will have to be the one doing the introductions here. I am the No Luck Panda, joined by Alex D and Discomonk. Today, Alex has prepared another little video for you guys. It looks pretty cool in my opinion. Pretty excited to show you guys that. Of course, Disco's here. We're gonna have some Discomonk crypto news. It's been a couple of weeks. We did have the Rune Royale last week, so if anything has happened, Discomonk is gonna catch us up with that. We have some some announcements regarding the next Rune Royale. We're gonna be changing it up just a little bit. We'll give you the details on that in just a little bit as well. And I guess outside of that, just in the general gaming space, we have Counter-Strike 2 announced, I think, just earlier today. Or I guess I shouldn't say announced, but it was teased a little bit earlier today. I don't know how many of you guys are Counter-Strike players, but that'll be interesting to talk about. I've been looking forward to a new, competitive game to try out. So hopefully that ends up coming out pretty soon. Let me type my name in here.
I'm curious if it's just a reskin like Diablo 2 Resurrected, or if it brings something new to the table. Are you curious, a new format or something? I'm super curious if they can modernize it in any way.
Okay, well, so that's interesting because I feel like Counter-Strike throughout all of its iterations are at least pretty similar, I guess I wasn't a super hardcore Counter-Strike player, so I guess I can't, say for sure. Like, was 1.6 that different from Source? Was it that different from CSGO? Like, from an outsider's perspective, someone that's not super in tune with it, it seems like they're pretty similar. Discomonk disappeared. Wait, did he disappear or was he never here? He disappeared. Oh my god.
I think his internet dropped. I don't see him on Discord either.
Yeah, he has been having a little bit of technical difficulties. Welcome back, Disco.
Oh, he's back. It's fine. Hey. I was saying that the initial updates or the newer versions were kind of close to the initial launch, but yeah, it's been a minute, right, since the initial Counter-Strikes. I'm curious.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, CSGO is what, like, probably 10 years old, maybe even older than 10 years. I think it's older than 10 years, right? I think maybe like 11, 12, somewhere around there. So yeah.
That's my point. At the time when CSGO was released, it looked good. It felt fresh. I mean, it was an update, but so much has happened in the last 10 years in the world of gaming that I'm actually expecting it to be something cool. I'm expecting them to bring something new. It might not happen, but that's a curiosity of mine.
I think for me, I'm kind of hoping that it stays like kind of similar to what it was before. I did have some fond memories of playing shooters way back in my childhood. It's been a while. I'm pretty bad now, but you never know. I mean, when Valorant first came out, I did play it like quite a bit. So I'll probably be, giving it at least a fair chance. But of course, we'll talk about that later. Let's jump into your little segment, Alex. You did prepare such a cool little video for us. Let me go ahead and pull that up, and you can walk us through what's going on.
So this is a preview of an area inundated. Like, there's a lot of water here, and I wanted to play with the idea of walking on water in one way or another. I'm constantly trying to bring in new ways to navigate the environment and to somehow teach the player that you're not gonna just walk on bricks and safe flat land, right? Sometimes you can access other areas and you usually have to train the player into thinking like that, right? Because there are in proper level design, there's always cues into where you should go and how the walkable area looks like. Just having things floating around, suspended bridges, and yeah, the the floating stones that are coming up right up. That that would encourage the player to keep an eye out for interesting things. I don't know, cracked walls, loose rocks, shallow water, cold lava, all these kind of cues could lead the player to think that, hey, maybe I can traverse through here, or maybe I need something, maybe I can build something. So it's not as straightforward as other games. I mean, I think the best example that I could give um, into this idea that was already built and I really enjoyed is Path of Exile and Delving. Delving is it's an endless dungeon. You basically travel through that dungeon, and all the side channels are dark. And in the darkness, you take damage, but you have flares. When you light up a flare, you create light around you, so you're protected for a couple of seconds. But the thing is, in the darkness, there are some walls that you can destroy using dynamite, and behind those walls, um, those walls, you can play it again. Yep, that's perfect. And behind those walls, there's loot, right? So you're actually trained to wander around and go off the beaten path, even though it's 50 times harder to play in the darkness as opposed to the lit up main pathway. But the game becomes so much more interesting once you are able to do this and you can explore and you can play around with, interact with different elements. In terms of actually technical stuff, I didn't hear not technical, more likely um, new things that haven't been put in Sanctuary so far. We have fishes. uh, we have some ponds in here. We have some smaller waterfalls. There's water flowing all over the place. Maybe the direction the water travels and the way it goes from one stage to another, maybe it's important. Over here, maybe the amount of fauna and seashells and everything that can be found around the path. Um, that might be something that's relevant to the area. So yeah, really try to make something beautiful, but at the same time, it should have practicality. And this area could turn out to be the first one where you can actually see other areas being branched out from here. There's the main area, the main path that we are walking on right now. But by doing some interesting stuff, destroying things or jumping over things or walking on things, depending on the skill that's going to be used there, you can traverse into a new area, right? Or you can access a new area that's similar, but um, I hope it's going to be more interesting. So this should be the um, simple looking areas, but yeah, you can find some more interesting looking stuff. Hopefully that's coming soon, right? The more interesting, more colorful. I think that's a good keyword for it, for an extension that comes here of colorful. Um, it's not a huge area or something that has never been done before, but from my personal perspective, I really liked how it all came together. I think that the elements are cohesive. Um, the elements are cohesive and it has the RPG feel that I really enjoy in an outside area. I know for a fact that we're gonna have a lot of dungeons. There's no good RPG if it doesn't have a lot of dungeons. And starting with Fallout 3, I guess, I started to fear going into the metro stations because it was always dark and the zombies were very vicious underground. And once I was able to uh, come back above, I was actually enjoying the sun, enjoying the outside areas, the more openness of the space, and I was able to run around better to avoid conflicts. I was not being ambushed anymore. I was thinking that maybe this area could come after a really dark dungeon, a long one, so you have a sense of relief. Yeah, it's more open, it's beautiful, it's well lit, and azure, like this blue colored water, always makes me feel better. Like it reminds you of holiday somehow. So yeah, that this area will hopefully be uh, a few minutes of refreshing for the player. And I'm imagining some cute mobs here, like aquatic creatures or sirens or things that don't give you nightmares. Probably the nightmares have been killed in a previous area, in a previous dungeon, and right now we're having fun exploding some frogs and mushrooms or things like that.
That's not fun for the frogs or the mushrooms.
I mean, it is an RPG, right? That's why we're gearing up to have big fireballs and zapping lightnings that can explode things. Demon frogs, yeah, possessed frogs.
Okay, but is there gonna be fishing? Can we fish?
I mean, if there's gonna be fishing, this is gonna be the best place to do it. The fishes are in there, it's moving, we can feed them. That's already happening. I
Oh,
made
we can
sure that
feed
the
the
water is
fish.
clean.
Ooh.
Well, there's food, there's fish that has been caught already, there's already there. So I don't know, it's not my call, but um, if there's any place to go fishing, this is definitely the place. I mean, there are some ponds that are not visible in this video. I can add more. I can make them interconnected. I can have a lot of fun with fishing here. So yeah, if there's a lot of interest for that, hit me up and I'll push it.
I really like how the water looks. I feel like I don't know, like maybe it's just me, but I always feel like water in games, like it does look beautiful. This
Yeah.
honestly, this kind of reminded me of a like this area specifically that we're on right now. It reminds me of like a Mario Kart track, honestly.
Because yeah, that's a good point. Because I'm using pathways that are not standard. I mean, rocks don't float, right? So it's kind of weird that those rocks float. I'm making sure that the standard pathways are very visible, so they're contrasted, right? So it's very easy for you to know where you want to move next. And when that contrasty path ends and something else follows that's not really normal, it should be easy to figure out. Yeah, I'm not gonna turn back. There has to. I have to move forward. That I'm not turning back. That it might be dumb that I'm walking on this, but it looks like I'm intended to walk this way. So I'm trying to think about this a lot because modern RPGs are quite straightforward and they don't require you to check for the map all the time. I mean, I remember that in Fallout and in Diablo, I was constantly checking the map and I was like, where did I miss the entrance? I know there's an entrance here, but why did I miss it? What part am I missing from the map? Right? But modern RPGs require you to make the pathways more simple, more intuitive, right? So you're funneled into the next area, not necessarily, you're not in a square and the entrance to the next area is somewhere random on the edges of that square, right? So you're basically just pathing along the edge and you're hoping that you don't miss the entrance, right? I'm trying to avoid that because I do remember it being really annoying. So yeah, I'm not trying to make it really straightforward as Last Epoch did it. I hope I'm not. Last Epoch definitely did it. Everything is straightforward. You can be as high as a kite and you can still finish those levels. I don't enjoy that. I think that some thinking should be required in an MMO. Um, any levels with any game with water levels are always annoying. I mean, Path of Exile has a lot of beachy levels, and I always like those. But yeah, I guess that's it for the presentation. Um, I hope it's first one in a series, so we can show other areas that transition from this. And I hope they'll look as cohesive as this one.
Sure,
I
cool.
guess that's
Yep, thank you, Alex. I guess there's one question before we jump off of the video. Do you have a place in mind of like where on the map this is gonna be?
no.
No, okay. So
Honestly, I do not give it any thought. Um, I'll I'll think about it, and depending on what's coming next, it's definitely going to be easier to place it on a map.
Yeah, I think Jackson will help out with that when he work out the best location for that.
yes, sir. Okay,
Yep.
cool. All right, moving on. It's your turn, Disco. What have we missed in the past couple of weeks?
We have had a fair bit of news. But where to start? I guess we'll try and start with the lighter stuff. Some big partnership announcements with MetaMask announcing that they are now offering native Unity integration. So that partnership enabling game makers to easily integrate Web3 technologies into their games. It'll be interesting to see kind of what that produces, how much take up there is from that. We've seen a lot of third-party companies spin up to try and address that gap. So it'd be interesting to also see what happens to them and their space. You know, this is a large market player that naturally, I guess, has captured the majority of the kind of Web3 market in terms of user base, certainly in terms of the PC market. So for them to now offer that native integration with gaming companies as well is a huge, immediate platform. They've obviously got user data as well. So yeah, I think, a really good partnership for them. I think a really strong advocate for Web3 gaming, and be great to see what kind of games come out of that. But by all means, aside from that, well, I guess there has always been the odd bits and pieces here with all the crypto companies. It's the crypto banks in particular that have been really under fire over the last few weeks. We are, of course, talking about Silvergate, and their share price has indeed tumbled and tumbled and tumbled again, and then tumbled further.
That's a lot
And
of
this is
tumbling.
all due to, sorry?
That's a lot of tumbling.
It is an awful lot of tumbling. So hopefully nobody had been holding those shares. This is all due to liquidity concerns following all the investigations into FTX and some of the lending that was going on there. Also, the interconnected lending through their SEN internal networks. So that is quite a concern because this banking network essentially funds the majority of crypto exchanges and fiat on and off ramps. There are very few outside of those big regulated ones. Well, actually, there are very few banks at all that get involved with crypto, and payment clearing and Silvergate are the biggest ones. So their kind of impending collapse is going to presumably have some sort of effect on the market. Maybe this is why volume in terms of BTC has been down significantly. You've probably seen the charts are pretty flat at the moment. Aside from that huge sell volume that happened, where Bitcoin kind of dropped $1,500 in market price in about 30 minutes. Aside from that, which very much felt like a single player exiting, we've not really seen much volume in the markets, and the timing of that certainly correlates with uh, the banks essentially refusing to touch crypto money and process that in and out in dollar terms anyway. So yeah, we might see a larger adoption of foreign currencies becoming the basis for stable coins potentially. Certainly, Coinbase have released their Euro C stable coin, and that yeah could have some ramifications. Also interesting, mentioning Coinbase, they have announced their base layer, which is a layer 2 network, Ethereum rollup, and that they are looking to create and put out. They haven't really given any details on that. Certainly, some individuals been speculating that USDC transactions potentially could be made free on the network. It would be kind of well within their power as a roll up to do that if they didn't decentralize through a token allocation and issuance. And by doing so, would certainly attract a large amount of liquidity and volume, you would assume. That being, quite appealing, having a 0% fee. So potentially, there's some opportunity there for Coinbase to move into that space. Um, what will happen from now on, I don't know. Tether still continue to be under fire for their banking practices. Forbes had called them out and highlighted some of the ways that they had been banking. They too also wrote an article about Binance and highlighted their banking practices and the similarities in which the commingling of user funds and movement of assets and creation of shell companies and all these different holding companies is a very similar setup to how FTX was operated by Sam Bankman-Fried. What we don't have, though, is enough information from the inside for that to become clear. Not enough of a liquidity challenge for the whole thing to collapse as of yet. So still Binance stands. Whether they continue to ride this out, it's hard to see how they could do. However, they certainly continue to do so. So don't put it past them. It will certainly have big ramifications across the industry if that were to happen. This, of course, is all happening while countries are pushing forwards with their CBDC plans. So they're digital, uh, centralized bank digital currencies, whereby the governments, create their own crypto stable coins and then issue those. So a lot of countries are moving forward with those. I think Brazil have announced some recent plans as well. So do expect to see more movement from governments about those too. I think that probably wraps up a lot of the crypto news. I guess also worth mentioning that Tornado Cash has been relaunched on, I think, Optimism. So good to see kind of decentralization move out from there. That's now even more anonymous through the use of privacy pools. So um, just goes to highlight the kind of true nature of decentralization that cryptos can enable, and the privacy aspect that people desire. They've done that through account abstraction, which was the big upgrade on Ethereum. It's now been enabled, I think, to very little fanfare, perhaps, but actually really enables decentralized identities, whereby you can essentially prove that you validated your information and then therefore prove to a third party, yes, I'm a real person, through your use of your passport or your birth certificate, whatever that might be, but without actually sharing that information to that third party, because you're using the trusted protocol that's then been verified to say, yes, I've confirmed that with the bank or governor or whoever set the scheme up, that this is a valid mechanism. They prove the ID to them, and that's sufficient to know that I'm a real person. So it's a real game changer for privacy. And we'll to see what kind of developments happen from there onwards too. I can't remember if we mentioned BTC ordinals. and NFTs becoming available on Bitcoin
Hmm.
last time around. Um, but that it has taken some steam and actually took up quite a large chunk of the NFT trading volume over the recent week. Bitcoin ordinals are essentially information inscribed to a single Satoshi, which they can then relay and hold pictures against NFTs in this particular case. So there's been a few projects launching on that. Not very consumer friendly at the moment. Quite often you need to run a node to be able to view these and to actually trade them. You also need a completely separate wallet to hold this single Satoshi, because otherwise, at the moment, the way Bitcoin wallet was work, they wouldn't segregate that from any of your other Bitcoin funds. So all of a sudden, if you put some more in, you could quite easily go and spend your NFT as you go and make your Bitcoin purchases, whatever you might do that with. Can you just imagine, pulling out an $80,000 painting and just handing that over to someone to pay for a packet of chewing gum by accident? But very much possible in this particular scenario. So, what is interesting though is that there does seem to be some sort of market for this, whether or not that is just people looking for an opportunity to then pass that on to somebody else, and because it is first and new, as we do often see with the crypto industry. Yes, that is quite possible. I'm personally not going for Bitcoin NFTs at the moment, but I think if there's a more user-friendly and acceptable method to access these, to segregate these, hold them potentially in a single wallet, and actually not just be able to pass them on as gas fees, for example, as well, um, then yeah, I think there potentially is some appeal having that immortalized on the blockchain there. Um, it's not the intended purpose, of course, and that has caused quite a stir amongst some of the hardcore Bitcoin community, or uh, hardcore of a certain perspective anyway. So again, they've actually been pushing for some code changes to disable this. Very much harks back to situations a few years ago, where eventually the blockchain was a result of all of that activity. So hopefully we won't go back to that sort of situation. There seem to be enough different people working on different solutions to get past that. Um, I think aside from that, yeah, I'm just checking back. I think that's it. Yeah, we're good. It's probably
Great.
time for some Rune news, in fact. So the hottest news in crypto, of course. And we're going to be talking about the governance vote for the Room Royale prize pool. So as Panda mentioned, we are opening this up to everybody. Um, we have created a guest account mode. Unlike the previous one, where you would just log in as a guest player, what's actually happening in the background is a OX Wallets address is being created for you in the background, and you can actually go and play the game, and it will tell you afterwards how many runes you've earned, and then if you want to turn that into account, you'll get taken through those steps too. What this does mean, though, is that players can jump on, try the game out for free. If they like it, then they can actually go and create that account. Having that feature does mean that anybody without an account can get play, join in, and get tracked, because they will have a name. So what we're going to do is actually open up the next Room Royale to everyone. Anybody with a web browser can join, take part. It won't cost them anything. That prize pool will still be available to all players. Our existing players with accounts have the added benefit of still earning rewards through those Room Royale tournaments and matches as they do already, but also hopefully with an increased player count as well. So by all means, if you've got some friends, family who are free at that time, have got something to do, that Room Royale hopefully should be quite a big and exciting one, and we're really looking forward to it. We'll give players the opportunity to vote through that governance vote on the Rune DAO sometime this week. We'll put that up there. We'll also announce it and link to it, so you'll be able to find it easily if you just follow all the news, as you should be doing, of course, anyway. and you'll be able to take part in that with your RXS vote towards that, how you think the prize pool should be distributed across the kind of top placing players. And aside from that, that also then brings some other opportunities for us in terms of account creation. We've actually got a partnership to announce ahead of the Room Royale too. So hopefully, again, looking to capitalize on that to increase our player count, get you guys some rewards while you're playing, and also really, liven up the competition for that big stream at the end of April.
Okay, yeah. So I guess that does bring me to a reminder that the next Rune Royale, it is going to be on April 30th. If everything goes according to plan, we are going to try to get items disabled for that Rune Royale as well, to even out the playing field a little bit. A lot of people probably are the new players joining in. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I feel like they're gonna get bullied a little bit, but it'll at least make it a little bit more fair for them. And I guess since we are on the topic of Rune Royale, we do need to congratulate our winners. We do have Chaos Myth taking home yet another victory. I think to pretty much nobody's surprise, Chaos Myth, the god of evolution. Second place goes to Sassy Boy. Fortress taking third. Glad to see him back. Hotaru in fourth, and then Crams taking fifth. Yeah, so that was Rune Royale for, I guess, season 1 of 2023. I know the naming is a little bit confusing. But yeah, please do bear with us. Season 2, again, is going to be on April 30th. That is, again, the last Sunday of April. And yeah, hopefully we get a lot more players. I think Evo is a lot more fun when there is a bunch of people playing. It potentially could, maybe make the games a little bit more messy, but it'll be fun, Don't take it too seriously, just have a good time. And yeah, looking forward to that.
It's a change in dynamic, right? When you have more players,
For sure.
The fireflies that you eat, the sprites that are in there, will have a different. You need to adjust techniques. It's not just going to be about who kills more players. There are other things to consider when there's more players in the game. So maybe it's a welcoming change, but we'll see and adjust accordingly.
Just worth mentioning, actually, as well, that the season, of course, is in full swing and was reset at the end of that Rune Royale. So there are just under 56 days left to rack up those points to become the season winner. That ending on that Rune Royale on the 30th of April. Crams, who finished in 5th place last season, is actually in lead at the moment so just ahead of Rizgar and Chaos Smith. It's good competition to be had, still early days, plenty of time to cement your place in the immortal history of the Room Metaverse and have your name permanently put up on the website on that leaderboard. So yeah, really good time to get cracking. Especially ahead of that Room Royale, if we do manage to get a few more players on board as well, to increase that competition in the following season, this might be your last chance while it's still quiet, fingers crossed. So, yeah, look forward to seeing you out on the battlefield in the Major Isles.
I'm looking forward to it. No items, and hopefully we get enough players to get the wall down. It'll be chaotic, and we'll see if Chaos Myth prevails in the chaos. What is the prize of this ranking season? If you're talking about like the regular season, not the Rune Royale, unless anybody unless there's something I'm not aware of, I believe it's probably going to be the same. Correct me if I'm wrong, if you guys know differently?
Uh, I have no idea. I think we might expect some clarification perhaps from the Twitch account in a moment, um, hiding in the background, pulling some strings. So, yeah, perhaps come back on that point shortly.
Wait, how did he disappear? But I could still hear him.
I we can't hear him. It was just a lag between
Was it? Oh
Have
yeah.
I
online
disappeared
and
again?
Wait, we can't hear him. We can hear him.
we,
You can hear me?
yeah,
Have I disappeared?
You
My
have
camera's gone.
You have definitely disappeared.
Right, okay. Give me a moment.
that's weird.
Let's pretend like
That was
he
weird.
never left.
At least he did not leave mid sentence. Yeah, no change.
Yeah, at least we still heard him.
That's
Okay. Well, I mean, we do have a little bit of time, so I guess Counter Strike 2, but also I do want to hear, do you guys have any games that you're excited for that's coming out soon? I've been like just really looking for a game to really play, but it seems like nothing is really coming out like soon, you know? Like Blue Protocol, I heard like maybe April, but I also did read on the website that it says apparently on the Japanese website or the Korean website or whatever, it says like April, but then on the English website it says like second half of 2022, so or 2023. So a little bit confusing as to when that comes out. I think I'll definitely give that game a try. But other than that, like is there any games that you guys are excited for?
It's busy said.
Sons of
I'm exactly
Forest.
on the same. Yeah, it's
That
not
game already
about the
came out.
game itself. It's in um, beta,
Is it
beta.
beta? Okay.
Um,
Okay.
but it's because it was made in Unity and it looks incredible. And considering the game engine, and I want to check it out just to see what's possible, right? They they are a studio that push the boundaries of the engine, and I want to see what they did there. I'm not really worried about how they did it. I probably can figure it out after I see it, but I want to play it firsthand and see if there's anything interesting that they pulled in Unity and we might learn from it and adapt it to our game. I'm also not really that um, fearful of copying the game because we are not a third-person survival game. I would just want to copy or be inspired for good-looking things, right? Something that runs well on a PC, looks good, and makes sense.
Is it a single player game or is it a multiplayer game?
Both. It can be whatever. It's always co-op. I think it can be single player. I checked it out today. I can look into it again. Steam. Sons of Forest. I mean, it's a survival game, so it's easier to survive with other people. It's always co-op.
Surely there's no. I mean, I guess there are some games that are like actually only co-op, right? But I think most games, you can probably play single player. There's, I feel like you'd probably be missing out on a lot of sales if it was like if you had to have a friend, you know.
The tag the tag is multiplayer, so it's probably whatever open world survival. Yeah, so it's definitely going to be easier with a few friends.
I
But
can't
I'm
tell if
seeing
Disco
in the
is
trailer
back.
and
I can't tell if he's frozen or not. He is so good at sitting still.
he's here.
Oh no, he moved. Okay, I saw him
I'm
move.
here. I'm here. Just listening intently.
Okay, what about you, Disco? Is there any games that you're like looking forward to?
Do you know, I have so little time to play games at the moment. Um, I don't even know what's kind of on the horizon and coming out and in development. Um, the only thing I'm actually aware of is GTA 6,
Oh,
which I would,
damn.
I love the GTA games. some one of my favorite series.
That
I have
sounds
fond
scary.
memories of playing that.
GTA
So
6. GTA 5 has been out for like decades, right? Oh my god,
mhm.
now that I think about it, like
Yeah,
that game
yeah,
is so old. I'm surprised. Like, does it usually take them that long to make? No, it doesn't. There's no way.
not quite that long usually.
Damn.
Um,
No, the entire industry has flipped on its head. So
yeah,
in the old days, there were so many new games coming out and sequels and DLCs and all that jazz. But now, once a game takes flight, when it has a good user base, all they do is maintain it and make sure that they can milk it forever. And once
yeah,
it's almost dying, that's when they start talking about a new game.
yeah.
It's the
They're not in
GTA
any
example
rush.
is yeah, the GTA example is the perfect one, right? The distance between 2, 3, and 4 is way smaller than the time it took for them to actually talk about releasing a new game. It's not
Yeah.
even about DLCs or I don't know new missions or new content or things like that. It's still the same old game. It's been a while, but if it still makes money, it costs them more to risk building a new game, right?
The thing is, as well, like it's had, I guess, in terms of its longevity, it's had the advantage of coming out at the sort of latter end of that generation gap, in terms of console hardware, being designed with the the Xbox One and you know PS4 in mind, um, but then also being promoted to the more powerful consoles, receiving the upgrades, having those kind of remastered versions, similar to a lot of other developers as well. But then also the addition of the online features, which they didn't kind of have on the older hardware. And
Mhm.
it's at that point that it really opened up, when they introduced GTA Online, um, that the game kind of changed from that point onwards. Because I think that's what everyone had always wanted from a Grand Theft Auto game was the online mode. To be able to get that, and with these incredible graphics, um, and content constantly pumping out ways for people to spend money in the game. You can see why it's lasted so long. They created that universe similarly to World of Warcraft and other kind of MMO games where people do log on every line and they meet with people and they have their online crews and pals that they game with, and they do the quests and they keep building towards something, getting all the items, and they're invested in those games. And because they've spent so much time and money, you can't then go and just play another game and just walk away from it and leave everything that you built up. All you can continue to do is play the game and spend more money and keep building it up and become more invested in it. And that's what they've become really good at doing, uh, through various generations. And again, as people, being an 18 rated game, as people get older, they can introduce these younger generations who've heard of it, but they've got newer, shinier versions that they'll buy. Yeah, it's a great money spinner, but it's also a great game. You can't deny everyone likes a bit of GTA. And I
Oh, it's an
remember
awesome
it was
game.
I remember it was always the one game that you can pull out with like anybody who's around, and they will play it, and they'll probably just go and kill a cop and like or punch someone in the face, just drive a car and steal it into a wall and then get thrown out and punched and kicked down, and whatever. But everyone has enjoys those moments, and the fact of being able to do that, it was always quite exciting. And it didn't matter what gender you were, what kind of persuasion, what kind of games you normally like. GTA was the one that everyone can jump into and have a bit of fun. Um, so I think they've also got that unique position. The humor's great. I love the depth of like all the detail, with all the jokes and the branding and the radio shows. I used to sit there like listening to just the radio shows for hours, like just driving around. I used to sometimes jump in GTA 4, get into a taxi, and just sit in the back of the taxi because you got that first person view. And then just get the taxi driver to go over like Brooklyn Bridge and stuff like that at night time, and just sit there like, high as a kite and whatever, just enjoying the view out the taxi and getting it to do this run around New York and being like, it feels like you're in the movies. So yeah, it's great series, and looking forward to that.
Would you
However,
believe
GTA
me?
3,
we've got to wait still.
Would you believe me if I said I never played GTA?
I think you would love it. I mean, I don't know
Really?
anybody that did not enjoy um, getting some stars and trying to ditch the cops. It's
Yeah.
so easy because it's one of the few games where there's a mission, but it's without any indications, right? You
hmm
start, so you're free to do whatever. I'm trying to pitch you GTA right now. You're free to do whatever the hell you want, but the only consequence of your actions is cops are going to follow you, and they're going to try to arrest you. And the more you resist, the higher the hit gets, and the more cops come. And you're gradually going to try to see who comes after you, right? There's going to be tanks, there's going to be helicopters, there's going to be surprises along the way, and yeah, you're gonna try to see how mad can the cops get at you, and then you're gonna see if you can get away after you have the whole full squad on your head. I think it's a very interesting thing because it's a self-made mission, right? It's there's no text, there's no pointers, there's no arrows, there's nothing, right? You're just in an open world where you can do absolutely whatever you want. You're gonna initially start shooting people at random, and then you're gonna get followed by cops, and you want to escape the cops, right? It's a mission on its own, but it's never written anywhere. So I think that's one of the best things that was ever created in a game, and that's one of the reasons why GTA was so well loved. And my personal reason why I love GTA, I've played from starting from GTA 1, but in GTA 3, when I was able to heist to steal a plane like a jumbo jet, the 747 or whatever the model is, and l- start flying it from the airport, that my mind was actually blown away by doing this. And it wasn't a mission. It was just I've seen an airport on a map, and I was like, can you actually fly an airplane in this game? And I found a way to jump the fence, stole the airplane, and run off. And I was like, I can't believe it. What the heck? That's so cool.
So I know you did start that with, you said that I would like it. Honestly, I'm just being honest. None of what you said to me really sounded appealing. I think it's just not my type of game. Like,
All right.
it's just it's still, at the end of the day, it's still kind of a single player game, even though I think it is like online and people do like
So
Oh
with
my
the
god, no,
online, yeah,
it's really
you've got
online
all the
now.
modes.
yeah,
Yeah, it's mostly online.
people do like role play, right, on GTA. Like I see it on
You can do
streams
role
all the
play.
time.
Yeah, you can get servers, but then you also get the traditional deathmatch. You get city races. Um, and the driving is good. In terms of the feel of it, if you like driving games and stuff.
Well,
Or flying
motorcycles and
bikes
jumping.
and yeah,
Role playing is dumb.
but
See,
or
that's what
just
I
shooting
think
things up
too.
as
But then
well.
you look at Twitch, and I feel like everybody is a GTA role player, and I don't know. I guess they have fun with it. Like, to me, I don't really
That's just
understand the
what
appeal, but I
the
think,
fad at the moment, isn't it?
well, it's been a thing for like years now. You know, like
It
I don't
has.
expect to look open Twitch and see GTA at like the very top, but like it's pretty high up there a lot of the times. Like right now, let me see, it's 216K viewers, and surely they're not playing like the campaign, right? Like they're just messing around on role playing or whatever, and it's crazy to me, but people like it.
It's just such a fun game to mess about in. You know,
Yep.
um,
It's
being able
big
to just
game to
drive
mess
around,
about.
grief people, and blow shit up. Get chased by police, go on a killing spree. Um, yeah, it's just good fun. Good physics on it as well. Um, again, like the citizens around you are hilarious in terms of like what they say and shout. Yeah, it's a really great game, great series.
What is SA? What could SA
San
mean?
San
Andreas.
Andreas.
Mm.
Oh, wait, what does that mean?
GTA San Andreas. It was
Oh, it's a
the
game?
follow-up, the one
Uh,
after GTA 3, Vice City.
Yep.
gotcha.
Um,
Yep.
and that like the so where GTA 3 was the first GTA game in 3D, and I used to love the 2D series, the 2D games as well, GTA London and GTA first one and GTA 2. You know, great games for the technology at the time. Um, and So GTA 3 was the first 3D one, but the map was very small. GTA Vice City was a similar size, just improved the game a little bit. GTA San Andreas just blew it up in terms of size and scale. You went from initially just kind of New York Island to all of a sudden you've got like the whole of Nevada desert, um, and Vegas, and then you've got some other cities and New York as well. And yeah, it's just crazy. And you could fly, and it felt like you were flying for hours to go from one side of the map to the other. And you wouldn't be able to drive it because every time you tried to, even in a sports car or something, you'd bump into someone, and then you end up in a police chase, and all of a sudden you're spinning around in circles here, there, and everywhere, and there's police helicopters on you,
Yep. Yep.
but
Yep.
it was just an amazing game. Just so much to do, and you'd always get distracted, and you'd never get missions done because of the police chases, or just something interesting would happen, and someone would say something, or you find a secret mission, and yeah,
You
it's
find people
definitely
with
great
bubbles
world
on
to
top
live
of
in
their
and
head,
play in.
right? You
Yeah,
find people along just wandering around, and then you're deep, knee deep into a very weird mission that you're probably not able to finish, or by trying to finish it, you again stumble into cops and all that story.
Honestly, with the way that you guys are describing it, I almost feel like that's kind of like the game that Cyberpunk was supposed to be,
Yes,
but then it
yes,
wasn't,
and
yeah.
yes.
apparently.
I think a lot of open world games very much want to replicate what GTA has done. Um,
The only the only replica of GTA that I actually enjoyed was Jesus, I forgot the name. I'm a bit tired. Um, Saints Row the third and
mm.
fourth. It's
They were good because they were like
GTA.
just really over the top GTA, weren't they?
It's basically GTA with superpowers, like a super
Yeah,
villain in a way. But the story was really great. Was amazing. Really, really, really good game. Very well made.
yeah. But there was a period of time in games where every single open world game that came out was trying to copy GTA and do GTA again. Um, it was a bit depressing actually for a little while because all these games were just rubbish because they just didn't have that same magic. So it's good to see like developers kind of moving away from that slightly and trying
I
to be
think
unique again.
Skyrim learned a lot from GTA and applied it
I
in a
think all
very
games
well.
learn, in terms of the depth and stuff. But
Mhm.
yeah, but I think there was a lot that outright went to copy that format and style, and it just didn't
Mhm.
work because they lacked the depth in terms of how long the team at Rockstar actually spent building all these worlds in terms of the little
What's
details.
that game called? Drive? Or what's the name of the game? The one that you can jump into any car in the game. Yeah, I think it's Drive.
Mm.
Drive?
Test Drive Unlimited. I used to play that. Maybe it's the later entry in the
I, f-
series, but
I feel like there's
that's
a
the
lot
game
of
where you could
games
just
where you
go
can
into
drive a lot of
random cars,
cars.
bog around. Indeed.
No, it's one concept, and I've seen it first. You can start driving, and you can go anywhere on the map, and you pick a car and can drive it in an instant. I think
Oh,
that
okay.
was the best. I forgot the game.
Is it
Hmm,
I've seen
that
someone
was the
GTA?
mention
best
Far Cry
improvement to GTA
It
in a
sounds
3
like
on
while.
here.
GTA.
Far Cry is another series that I love.
Yes.
Far Cry 1 was great for the water graphics and just a different style of gameplay. Far Cry 2 had me hooked. Um, it was an evil game. It was just so punishing to play because your weapons would degrade over time. So you would have to keep maintaining them, and then they just sometimes just randomly jam up in a gunfight. So you just, enter, you've got all these people shooting at you, and you go to get someone, and you think, well, I've got a headshot. And then all of a sudden your gun jams, and then you're like, oh, okay, now they're all just shooting at me, and I've got to run. Um, the AI was quite vicious as well. They just somehow managed to see it was incredibly difficult to sneak in that game. And you got malaria, so you had to keep taking malaria pills, and you wouldn't just get malaria pills. You'd actually have to go and complete like a mission and go and steal them from some warlords or something. And you'd have to do this like every few missions, because otherwise you'd get malaria and die. So you could never just try and go for the storyline. You were getting your malaria pills, and then you'd have to like try and do some story and get some more malaria pills and so forth. Yeah, it was just, but as a game and as a world, the detail and the life was just incredible. So to make that game, the team actually flew out to Africa, and they shot, I think, about 300 hours worth of wildlife footage.
Okay,
To
I,
just
I thought you were
create
about to say they went to Africa and they got malaria.
and they got malaria, and they went and got malaria, and they got malaria for
Oh my
20
God.
days straight, and they sent hundreds of people just so they could really replicate the effects of how horrible that was, and they wanted to make everyone suffer the way they did.
Oh my
Maybe they
God.
did, I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest, when you play the game. But what they did do is they used all that footage to actually just recreate Africa and the wildlife and the different places of it. And even now, bearing in mind that game came out, I don't know what, like 15, 20 years ago. Even now, the world and the graphics on it are just so lifelike. The way the trees moves and the leaves move, because they got all this footage and really replicated the way the every branches sway in the winds, how different parts of the tree will sway differently depending on the strength of the wind. And one of the reasons they did all of this, it wasn't purely aesthetic, but it also then really heavily got involved with the gameplay of fire, which they introduced. And again, they spent hundreds of hours just shooting fire. This was the most realistic fire model in a game that you could get. And it does, and it looks like fire, and you throw a Molotov, or um, you explode a car and that catches something, and just a spark goes off, and all of a sudden you see this little flame in this savannah desert go in, and next thing you know, this whole tree's on fire and this bit's on fire, and you're trying to escape this, and it's usually some bandits coming at you, and you're shooting them all down. um, but that fire spreads, and the way it spreads, again, and interacts with the world around you, is just something they don't replicate in a game anymore. They took a lot of that, and now they kind of used a lot of the learnings, and they condense it down to a few frames of just repeated clips, in terms of, so it looks like a real fire, um, but doesn't act in the same way that they did in those games. Far Cry 3, they followed it up and kept the fire element a little bit, but it isn't anything like Far Cry 2. A classic game, and I highly recommend it. It's a great world to get lost in. And again, you're just searching for the jungle, but you find these little pieces, and it's got that RPG element too. So yeah, I might actually try and play that sometime this week. Now I've talked about it. It's one of those games I could always go back to.
Okay, guys, we're gonna keep talking about
It's
games,
an
so we should
awesome game.
probably start our Evo. Start some of our Evo games.
One last
While we can
thing,
continue
we did
chatting.
not mention Hogwarts Legacy,
Ah, that game.
right? I mean, I'm excited about that. It's something new. It's something new that I'm actually excited about. It's a new twist. It's a great story. It's something that should have been done a while ago. Maybe they did not have the tech to do it the way they uh, I for yeah, but
Have you
we can
played?
jump into evil. No,
You have not
this is
played.
one of
Okay.
those games that I'm afraid to start. Uh,
in case you get sucked in.
I did hear that it is
uh,
good, but have we talked about? I'm sure we've talked about Harry Potter before on this on the stream, right?
I'm sure we did. I'm sure it was a fortnight ago because it had just come out.
I just
I
can't
think a
get
couple of
excited
days
about Harry
before it's
Potter,
about to
man.
2 weeks old now, wasn't it?
I read all the books. I watched like almost all the movies, and man, I
right.
just feel like Harry Potter could have been so much better, but it's just not. And that's just
The
it's I don't
movie,
know.
you mean?
What's up?
The movies, you mean, could have been much better?
The movies and the books and everything, like the entire like franchise, I think could have been better, but I feel like they just make I don't know, like it makes me not like they have magic as a thing, but then they don't. I feel like they don't do anything with it. You know, like they made magic so like lame. I don't know, for lack of a better
I
word.
mean, stories for kids, right?
Yeah.
That's the point.
Yeah, even as a
It
kid
was
though,
like I remember that when the first book came out, it was available at schools. I think that's one of the reasons why it did so well. Like schools got it into their libraries over here, um, and I remember a few friends reading it, and I started reading a bit of it, but not that much of a reader, so I never got too into it, and I don't really care about Ponzi wizards and stuff. So yeah, but I could see why it was quite popular at the time, and I think the books just really took off. I think in part because it was aimed at kids, but also it wasn't so childish that adults couldn't read it. And I think they buy it for their kids and then read it themselves and actually get quite into it, and became quite a family thing.
I mean, compared to Game of Thrones, um, if I'm thinking about kids and it's what was fashionable to read when I was a kid and what's fashionable now, I think that reading Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter's was way, way, way better than reading Game of Thrones, right? I mean, there's so much freaking killing in Game
Mm.
of Thrones and betrayal, and why do kids need to learn about that when they're small? I don't know. I've enjoyed talking about cute fantasies when I was a kid and doing challenges with friends who can read more and who can understand better and things like that.
Game of Game of Thrones had its problems as well. I don't know. It just seems like it must just be really difficult to have like a story that has magic, but then like not have the magic invalidate everything, but then also like actually use the magic in a way that people would actually use it if magic existed. At least I don't know. That's how I feel.
So no, I've never watched Game of Thrones. Um,
Okay.
my only kind of understanding of Game of Thrones is the South Park episodes on it.
Okay. We are now
As
in.
far as I'm
That's so
aware,
funny.
Game of Thrones is just a lot of random people with their floppy wieners out,
Oh my
um,
god.
doing some incest.
There is a lot of incest.
That's
Is there a lot of
absurd,
floppy
man.
penises?
I don't know if they're floppy.
There's a lot of
I-
sex, yeah, but not really floppy.
Is there a lot of dicks?
There's a midget that fucks everything in the first few
Whoa,
seasons. That
whoa,
was
whoa.
interesting.
Can you say that
Yeah,
on stream? I don't know if you can say that on stream.
I don't know. But
Which one?
that's the kind of thing that I guess feels like it should just, be hidden in your Google search history, not something you sit down and watch with your family. Um,
Wait, what are we talking about? Game of Thrones? Okay, guys, I'm gonna start the first round of Pandemonium. I am gonna have to.
I can't get back in, as soon as you put it to Pandemonium.
I just disabled Battle Royale, so you should be able to get in. And once you get in, I am
It's
turning it
brilliant
back
now.
on. And I need to change the damage per touch because I am the only panda here. All the other pandas are Gone today. It'll be me against everybody. Are you back in Disco?
I am in.
Okay. Battle Royale's turning on. Damage per touch is going
3,
to
2, 1, go.
100. If I touch you, you guys are dying. Don't get touched by the panda.
Over the walls.
So I thought Game of Thrones was pretty good, but then like it also kind of like the of course Disco dies first. When they started introducing like magic and whatever, then it became a little bit like, yeah, come on. I can't think of a single series that does magic well
for
though.
them to introduce dragons, and then they showed dragons for I don't know a couple of minutes.
Yeah, not enough dragons, right?
It was awful.
Yeah, the dragons are also they're a little bit ugly. I don't know. I mean, I guess when you think about it, like it's hard to have like a scaly thing be like really pretty.
I guess that was fine. I mean, the director's work was amazing, but the story being dragged on for so long and the interesting bits being 3 or 4 episodes apart, at least in my opinion, that was a little bit too much.
How is this guy not dead? I was literally on top of him.
There you go. You had to be in front of him.
Oh my god. This must be Chaos Myth. Oh boy.
Yeah. Yes. I can confirm.
Oh boy. At least
and you almost made it out without getting stuck.
Oh.
Oh. That's a little bit funny. How come you're not damaging him? You're on top of him.
That's what I'm saying, right? I'm literally on top of him. All right, Chaos Myth. Where's my Ev when I need him?
That's actually funny.
Thanks, Chaos Myth. Alright, I gotta disable Battle Royale. I miss my Ev. Alright, Battle Royale going off. Everybody get back in here. It's getting to the part of the stream where I am really hungry. I am really fucking hungry now. And my Discord will not open. Great. Amazing. Sugoi. Oh well. Wait, where did Disco go?
Need me to write something down?
No. That's okay. I'll use Notepad. Did Disco disappear again?
All right.
I don't know if he physically disappeared or if his camera cut out again.
It's flickering, so I don't think it's frozen.
I don't think so either. I mean, am I waiting for Disco or should I just start? What do you think?
Yeah, just start.
Just start. Alright, poor Disco. Alright, Battle Royale. Turning on. God mode turning off. I am so hungry.
As the dragon or as Panda?
That's both.
As both, alright.
The dragon is Panda.
That works.
Oh my god, I got him, but it's not even Chaos Myth in the island. It was Sassy Boy.
I'm not sure if you talked about this on the stream, but what do you think about Kung Fu Panda? Kung Fu Panda.
That's such a random question.
Why is it a random question? I mean, we keep asking you about games and stuff if you like them, and you almost never like our games.
Okay.
But what about the movie? I loved it, honestly. I think it's one of the best animated movies.
Yeah, so
at least from the modern ones.
I don't like single player games, but I do love movies. But Kung Fu Panda, I watched all of them. I'm pretty sure I cried during at least 2 of them. So
All right, so you
they're
really
pretty
like them.
good. I like it. Of course, I like it. Who is the
I
last
don't
dragon?
tend to watch many
Back. Oh,
films
you're back.
or much TV. Um, just find it too hard. So I quite enjoy like single player games. Um, I'd rather play a
And
single
it's
player
Chaos
game than
Myth
watch a
again.
film. But I do like, watching a few films. There are some things that I do feel I have to see.
Wait, have you seen Kung Fu Panda?
Kung Fu Panda, of course.
Oh, okay.
And yes,
Good.
I do get
He has
emotionally
kids.
touched by emotional scenes in films. Like Kung Fu Panda. It is
Yeah.
upsetting. Disney films always get to me.
Dude, I
I
cry
do
so
like a
much
Disney
during
film.
movies. It's actually kind of crazy. I feel like, yeah. During movies, during shows, I don't know, man. I cry so easily.
I
And
can't
during,
wait
oh,
for my
especially
kid to
during
be old
anime.
enough.
Oh my god, dude.
Is that just because you realize they're not real and that upsets you?
Yeah, my waifus. They exist only in 2 dimensions. What a shame. Oh my god, oh my god, the puss. That was I actually watched that pretty recently. It was good.
The what? Sorry, are
The
you allowed to say
puss,
that on Twitch?
puss.
I have no idea.
Have you not seen it?
No,
I haven't
that
seen
sounds
it,
like the
but
kind of anime you shouldn't be googling.
It's so good though. It was I don't want to spoil it. I mean, but he's so cute. Like he's actually so cute. And then the other one is so cute.
Oh,
Oh
is
my
this the
god.
is that the film about a cat?
yeah,
Multiple actually. Is that
Multiple
spoilers?
cats.
I don't know if that's spoilers or not. All right, battle
No
royale's
idea.
it's
going
not a
on.
spoiler what you did. Well, Puss in Boots is from Shrek, right? There's one kitty cat that has really big eyes that
I know when his eyes
can
get so
convince
big.
you of doing
Oh my
everything.
god, it's so cute. Oh my god. Wait,
Did you
how
take
come?
God mode off?
I guess I did not. I was about to say, how come everybody had a bubble except me?
This guy should watch it the kids. Puss in Boots. It's really kids friendly.
Yeah, I tried to get them to watch like the actual kids' films, but they just want to watch crap on YouTube.
Oh, damn. Is that what it's like being a kid nowadays?
I think it is,
They'd
yeah.
rather just watch YouTubers. Oh.
Rather watch YouTube than actual quality family friendly films.
What YouTubers do they watch?
I wouldn't have a clue. I think a lot of
Minecraft.
the ones who no, I think it's mainly Roblox YouTubers.
All right.
How's this
Or
guy
just
not
ones who
dying?
do some other random stuff. Elsie, I think is one my daughter keeps banging on about. She wants his
Oh, he
merch.
got stuck too. Oh, I got stuck again though. Is this Chaos
No,
Smith again?
no.
No, Chaos Smith never gets stuck in the islands.
I love how he's
Wait, it is
teasing
Chaos
you
Smith.
so
Oh my
hard.
god, it is Chaos Smith.
Of course, it's
How is
Chaos
he
Mate.
he's so good at avoiding me during the entire game, huh? I feel like I didn't even see him the entire time.
Talking about how kids these days like YouTubers and not traditional kind of celebrities, and how I don't have a clue who any of these like people are, just makes me feel old. And I then saw adverts for like festivals that I used to attend quite regularly and would recognize every single band like on the sheet, on the lineup. I don't know
Mhm.
half of them, like even half of them, probably like 10%. There's a handful of names I recognize. The rest are just going, who are these people? Like, what music do they make? Like, I don't know. Yeah, I can't keep up with it anymore. Like in terms of finding new music and listening to stuff.
Same.
I've been to a
Well,
concert. I've been to a concert of a friend of mine. I've known him since he was like a
we're
small
starting.
kid. Didn't know anything. and now he was swearing on the stage and hand banging, and there was a lot of girls like trying to touch him. He was like already a rock star. That made me feel old. Like over there in the back with his dad and his aunt, and know, like cheering him up. Yeah, you go, boy. It was like rocking, like slaying on like on the guitar on the stage. That was awesome. It was a great feeling, but it made me feel old. Exactly like you said, I don't know 90% of the bands in a lineup on the festivals we have here as well. Yeah, and the ones that I really, really want to listen to and I'm really hyped about, they're so old. When you go
Yeah.
close to them on the stage, they're all gray haired and like used
Fuck.
up on all the drugs in the world. He was so close to not get stuck on the island, Panda.
Yeah. I almost feel
I
like I
mean,
So we
went
got
through. Oh
Chaos
my
and
god.
Sassy left, have we?
Who's who?
he's gonna make
Who is who?
no way, no way. Good job, Panda.
it's
Good job on that one.
it's always chaos with how is he so good at avoiding me? Like it's
I don't know. I
even
mean,
when I'm like going through the islands and I kill somebody, it's never him. It's always somebody else. It's like nope. Like
I mean,
it's not like I don't have names on, so it's like I don't know who I'm killing. It just always happens to be Chaos Smith at the end.
I, I, I think it should be the other way around. He should be uh, the unkillable demon, and we should be running around from him. I think honestly would be way more fitting. I mean, nobody can escape from him, right?
I guess not. Oh my god. Where's my Ev when I need him?
I love it, but you can only kill him if he lets you do that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
it's so hard, man. He's like, oh wait, do I not even have to turn battle royale off? Can you guys just come back in? What have I been turning it off for no reason? You guys can just come back in. Oh my god, I've been turning it off for nothing.
I didn't think we could come back in before. Oh, do you mean once everyone's been killed?
Yeah, once we have a winner, everyone can just come back in. I don't have to press anything. I am so hungry.
I'm getting slightly
Oh
peckish now.
man. Something about pandemonium just makes me hungry.
I'm so afraid to
Eating
ask
all those dragons.
what they're going to eat because it might turn into a endless discussion about how do you pronounce stuff.
I
I
could.
kind of want a Big Mac right now. Honestly, my friend has been talking to me about Big Macs, and now I want a Big Mac.
How often do you eat McDonald's, Panda?
Uh, Probably like a couple times a week.
Do you
That's a
cook
lot, dude.
at all, or do you
That
just
can't be
eat
I
takeout?
cook
healthy.
maybe a couple times a month.
And when you cook, is
So
it just
no,
ramen?
No, I don't cook ramen.
in a
I
pot.
don't like honestly. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I can't eat the like the instant ramen anymore. I feel like I've been too spoiled by like
You
ramen.
overdone it. You
I've been.
overdid it, huh?
I mean, I just feel like I eat ramen like way too often now. That like, you know what I mean? Like, wait, I'm definitely clicking the wrong thing. Disable God party. That's what I need.
When I was in the US, I had um, Korean barbecue. Oh
Oh,
my
that's
God,
so
that
good.
was an amazing
Mm.
experience. Like the experience itself, it's not just about the taste. I mean, you can have good tasting food anywhere, but the whole experience, like cooking your own food. Oh my God, leave me alone. God damn it. I should have run for the islands. Uh,
I,
yeah,
j-
the entire experience and the way that the tables are made and the menu, like it's like eating redesigned, right? I keep saying that I want to see new interesting games. Well, that was the first time when I've seen eating in a restaurant done in a completely different manner, and I
Mm.
enjoyed it so much.
It's pretty common over here, K barbecue. It's not like a rare thing. Oh my
In
god, I
Europe,
killed
it's
Chaos
very
Smith. Oh
rare,
my god, I finally got him. No wonder it took him so
and
long
you're
to die.
godlike.
I had to chase him for a
That's
while.
so. You can't really find Korean barbecue in Europe.
Really?
It's only in a few places in Europe. I mean, not there's none in my country.
That's kind of crazy. I feel like it's such a big like part of the culture. Or a big part of I don't know. Like what do you I don't know. I just feel like, when you go out with friends, Korean barbecue is like the first place.
Oh my God, I would do it like right now. Like, just call everybody. Let's go do a Korean
Dude,
barbecue. It
I'm
would be
so
so
I'm
awesome.
so down. I want K barbecue now. Fuck.
Yeah, Korean barbecue is so true. And that game
Damn.
with the cap, you know what I mean, Panda?
Wait, what do you say?
The cap flinging thing. When so you open the bottle of soju and there's a piece of metal that remains on the cap
Wait, a bottle of what?
and soju. Am I saying it wrong?
Is that like the
Like the
soju, like alcohol?
yeah,
Oh,
the
well,
Korean
I
wine.
don't drink, so yeah, I don't really drink, so I'm not too familiar
You're
with
not
it.
doing it properly then, man. You have to have soju. Like you need to have like 10 people at the table and like a big bottle of soju and it has to go around the table. That's the part of the experience.
I'm just there for the food, bro. I'm just there for the meat. I'm there for the bulgogi. Just give me the bulgogi. Wait, have you ever had a disco?
Korean
Like,
barbecue.
yeah.
I've never had like a proper setup. I've had a bit of like Korean barbecue, like type meat, but no, not like a gone out for a big old
Oh my
Korean
god,
barbecue.
when you went to New
It's not all
York.
that common, like bit larger cities. Because I'm not so much in a city, and yeah, I just don't go out to eat all that often. To be fair, like at restaurants anyway.
You
Like the occasional takeaway now and again.
Oh man, you should have went when you went to New York. I had no idea you'd never been. I would have definitely told you to go. I think it's a good experience. You'll probably
Yeah, I
miss it
know the
if you
wife
ever.
wants to go over there again, but it's a bit pricey.
A bit.
Yeah.
Okay, where is Stream Elements? Stream
I was so
Elements.
disappointed by burgers in the US. So disappointed. I mean, $30 at a fancy restaurant for a shitty burger. I was like, what the heck is this?
Was it that bad?
Everything else was fine. Oh my God.
Panda, do you need
We
to
have really good burgers
reset the
here.
servers?
That's a good question. Do I need to reset the servers? Will people be stuck in pandemonium forever? Honestly, how do I reset it? What do I do? What do I press? I've never
I
done
think
it.
they are
Oh,
stuck in
restart.
Pandemonium at the
That's
moment.
a
You just
restart
need to
server
take
button.
Pandemonium off
Oh,
and
I just have to
restart.
turn it off. Okay.
I assume so.
Yeah. I'll just put it. There we go. Deathmatch. You guys can kill each other in game, of course. Don't take it out of context. Okay, stream elements. Why is everything logging me out?
Oh, I think you have to
Why?
take God mode off as well.
Oh my god.
Yeah, God
Because
mode
yeah,
as
it is
well,
just
for
stuck
sure.
in Pandemonium God mode at the moment. No
Okay.
timer.
Okay, god mode is off.
I should be fine now. Is I don't think that match is on.
Next, you're gonna
It's
tell me I
still
have to disable battle
stuck in
royale.
Pandemonium. I don't know if it.
I should have
Maybe,
changed it. I
yeah.
believe I'll change it again. Give it another try.
Brother stopped. Okay. But we're still not
Um,
able to kill each other.
Yeah, it's still a 0 round timer.
it should have just changed to deathmatch right now.
Nope.
No? Okay. I mean, I could try pressing the restart button. I don't know if that's a good idea. I could try it. I've never done it
The
before.
big red button.
Yeah, should I press the
Yeah,
big red button?
press the big red button. You have to press the big red button.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I didn't know there was one, but
I
I'm
mean,
encouraging you to
all
press it.
right. I mean, hey, it can't be worse than what's happening right now, right? I guess it's better than being stuck in pandemonium. Let's see what happens. Did anything happen, guys?
Server
Oh, it says
rebooting.
server is rebooting in 10 seconds.
Okay, hope it
So
works.
that'll be your big red button.
Okay, Alex, what rune word are we crafting today? You get to choose.
I don't know. Check for runes first, I guess. What are the options? Can you craft
Oh, that
anything?
might be a problem, huh? I did not check for runes before we started.
Yeah, right. Check for runes, see what's available. Right, what you can craft, and we
What
can
are
pick
we
something
missing?
from
Do we have
your
enough
pool.
sod?
I would craft whatever is craftable, to be honest, at this point.
Oh no, we're good. We're good. We're good. We should be good on.
Hmm.
I think we should be good on everything. I think almost everything.
Well, I would craft a flare in the hopes that you will get something cool out of it.
Flare. Okay. I will double check. Make sure we do have everything.
He knows how much you love them trousers.
Oh nope. We don't have enough
Panda.
towel for flare.
I mean,
Or
I really
if.
liked flare for the discussions we had with generating new versions with the AI. I mean, that was really cool to see how AI envisioned legs and materials and fabrics and merging everything together and all that stuff. And Aki did an amazing job working with that item. So I
Yep.
think it's a cool item for the backend stuff as well.
Yeah, Benzi, if you could send some towel and ith. That is kind of hard to say.
Teleth.
So we're going for some flair. You
We will
sorting
be
out
going
the
for some
stream elements
flare.
at the moment.
Yes, sir. Some flare.
It's been a while since I've calculated the chances, but it's a good one to try if you want to get something, if you want to craft high uniqueness, right? Seems like so at a glance.
Flare?
Hmm.
I think, honestly, I feel like I've had pretty good luck with flare, if I remember correctly.
I feel like you've done okay with flair.
Yeah, flare hasn't been too bad to me. It's the rings that's been getting me, I think.
Let's see. Maybe you can get something interesting.
I'll keep this running, and when we do, I'll jump back to GTA. The only GTA game that I've really played was the one on the DS. And I only played it for like 10 minutes.
Was that the Chinatown
You know what? I think
Wars?
so, actually. I'm surprised you are familiar with it. I guess you really are a GTA fan.
They ported it to iPhone, and I used to have an iPod Touch. So I was like, a GTA game on mobile. This is amazing. So yeah, definitely got that.
Was
I
it
have
good?
got San Andreas on my phone at the moment. And I bought the remastered like triple pack of the old games, but it's only San Andreas that I played around on.
That's cool. That's cool.
Was the
I
Chinatown one
respect that.
good? Or is it bad?
Is what, sorry?
Was the Chinatown one good or is it bad? That's my only experience with GTA.
Yeah, it was okay. It was more like the original GTA games in that it's a 2D perspective, um, but just with slightly more updated graphics. So it gave it a 3D feel.
I see.
I guess it was a 3D game with a 2D perspective.
Yeah, if I
Um,
remember, it was 3D. I don't know. It's been a
mm,
long time.
it it was 3D, but it was a top down kind of view,
I
like a
see.
bird's eye looking
I
down, like the traditional
I think
GTA
it
one and
was
two.
technically 2.5D. Let me
Yeah.
actually Google it.
So, but yeah, no, it's a good game. I played quite a bit of it. Um,
Can I get my
I quite
waifus in
enjoyed that.
2.5D? I don't
Can
need
you
the
get your
full
waifus in
3D.
2.5D?
Yeah, just
You
give me the
can get waifu
2.5D.
VR, can't you?
I guess you could. Is
Um,
is is VR 2.5D?
it feels more like 4D, I guess. Don't get a VR headset. I don't think we'll ever see you again.
Dude, I want, I, man, I actually want a VR just so I could play Beat Saber. Like, I actually want to play Beat Saber. It was fun. I feel
You've
like it's
never
good
tried it?
exercise.
Mm.
I have tried it, but have we not talked about this
It
on
is
stream?
good at
Maybe we
first.
haven't talked about this on stream, but I'm blind, right? You would think that, having it so close to your face, you could see it without glasses, but no, you can't fucking see it. It's all fucking blurry. So, like, I'm blind. I couldn't see anything. And my glasses are so big, they don't fit. So,
Yeah.
Oh, so you
yeah.
can't get the glasses in there. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, you have to get, like,
You would need.
custom
Yeah, yeah,
stuff.
that's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Oh, that sucks.
Uh, yeah. The struggles of being blind. Like it's right up to your face. Like you would think I could be able to see it, like, but no, I don't know. It's so weird how that works, huh?
Stupid eyes and science and stuff. Yeah. It's because your brain just makes it up as it goes along.
It's like
I
is it
did
because
use
it's
Beat Saber
mirrors?
as an exercise tool, but just for a while. It gets old soon.
Really? I mean, I guess I could see it, but I remember one of the best exercises I've ever had playing a game was playing on the Wii. There was like this fishing game. And I don't know why I was
Yeah,
so into it, but man, I was yanking that thing. Like I was
Like
yanking it
bass
so hard.
fishing or something like that.
I was just straight up
I do
yanking it
remember
like
those
all
fishing
night.
games.
Like holy fuck, I was never so sore
Hey,
before in my life. Jesus Christ.
hang on a minute. Hang on a minute. What were you talking about? A Nintendo game or something else?
Yeah, yeah, I was on the Wii, yeah.
he didn't get the joke, but that's okay. Uh, I really
Yeah.
liked
It was a
the
good game.
PlayStation VR or whatever it was, the Kinect one. It was Xbox, right? Xbox. Yeah, and ping pong.
Yeah, I've got a Connect upstairs.
Yeah,
I
playing
used
with
to
my
love the
wife.
Connect.
Yeah, it was
Oh, the
really,
table
really
tennis,
nice.
you just stand around.
Yeah, yeah. Slapping the air indefinitely. I really like
Yeah,
doing that. Boxing, ping pong, or the Kinect games, like the sports. Those are really
I
fun.
loved it, and I got the Connect 2.0
This is
when the Xbox One
2.0?
came out. Yeah, so
How was it? How
the
is it?
original Connect, was for the 360, and
Hmm.
then they brought out the Connect 2.0 for the Xbox One, and then phased it out entirely, and kind of killed it off, which is a real shame because it is an amazing bit of kit. Like the
Yes.
technology inside it was
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
It's just most people
Amazing technology. I agree.
they couldn't
They
quite do
used.
short enough scanning, short distance enough scanning, to
Mhm.
and in terms of scale to then cover the whole room as well, for the technology at the time at a cost effective way, which unfortunately meant that it most people's living rooms weren't big enough for the tech. They kind of improved that in the second iteration. They managed to scan a bit
Okay.
closer, but as a result of that, it meant that the body scan and everything just wasn't as good, um, for most people who ended up buying it, simply because they didn't have the space to actually utilize that technology properly. And I remember, in a average sized living room for over here, it's still a bit cramped and small. So yeah, I think it was a killer. Plus, the other thing, and same with all of these technologies like Wii and Connect and everything like that, they're really good fun, but most people don't want to be jumping up and down around their living rooms when they're playing a game. They just want to sit down in the same way that they watch TV and just put their feet up and relax, or maybe take it competitively. But again, most people don't want to be jumping around playing game like while they're playing. They just want to chill. And I think that's the biggest failure. Amazing tech, amazing things you can do. But it's the
Oh
same
my.
with VR gaming as well. Like, even having the option, are you really going to sit there every night, put your headset on, get all the stuff out, move your chair and whatever out the way so you can stand in front of your computer? Or are you just going to go, do you know what, I'm just going to play a bit of FIFA or whatever game you're playing, Diablo, whatever it might be.
I would do it if it did not have that sickening effect. I know that newer devices have dialed down this nauseating effect, but my personal experience with VR, I've played like 20 or 30 games, 30 VR games. It was after a couple of hours, even when you get used to it, it feels wrong, like physically wrong. It feels like my body, it's physically telling me to stop, which is a very weird feeling for a hardcore gamer because my body never says anything when I game for long stints, right? At least in the old days,
Yeah.
right?
I never
So
got that, but I did get that after 10, 15 minutes, that disconnect when you come back into the real world as to hang on a minute, like what is real and what isn't,
yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
you kind of
Yeah,
lose that
that's the
disconnection
fun
of
part.
Okay,
yeah, it
guys.
is. Yeah.
I am gonna close the giveaway. We have 7 entries, and we're gonna pick 5 winners. So everybody has a good shot. Let's see what happens.
But I never did.
Chaos Myth
And
winning again.
always. I was
Liv Tekken,
fortunate. I
IQ
never had issues.
Baloman.
Oh, Panda, I don't think you're sharing the draw on the screen.
No, no. I'm not supposed to be. It shows
no,
up. It shows up on the little thing.
got them.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We can see it.
Yeah. And
I used to.
Alex.
I used to love 3D TVs, and I was, a bit gutted that technology disappeared and wasn't pursued further. Yeah, it was a real shame. Like, as a technology and for what it did, it was amazing. Like, I think the problem was people were used to seeing 3D cinema pop out at you because it does at such a large scale, and the trick works to that effect. But at a TV size and in your front room, instead of things popping out towards you, what you get is the depth effect. So it almost looks like you're just on the other side of a window or pane of glass, and all these things are happening, just behind that bit of glass, which is your TV screen, of course. But that's what it gave you, the depth perspective in that. When you're watching a sports match, you'd see the field, and that would be just on the other side of the glass. You see the entire thing, and that was amazing, especially things like the sports. Was a real game changer, I think.
It's kind of funny that Disco's explaining this, but he's explaining it in about like 2 FPS.
Was that as long as the audio wasn't 2 FPS?
Yeah, the audio is good, but like
it.
you're moving around your hands. It's like 2 FPS.
To be honest, you only need 1 FPS to just see that half the wheel is Chaos Myth.
No, the wheel has plenty of frames. It's actually only you.
Yeah.
I think.
Not a good day for
Ants
streaming.
inside your TV. Oh boy. Might as well throw. I mean, do you throw away the TV at that point? If it was spiders, I think I would throw it away. Ants, I guess, is like maybe doable.
I live with ants for years. I would give them food, and
what?
if they have enough stuff. No, if you give them food in certain places and you give them things to do, they don't wander around, right? You can make them walk wherever you want because you can move food around.
So basically, you had ants as pets.
If you spray like cleaning liquids and stuff into the hole that they got into your house from, then they also won't come back again, and they'll disappear and you won't have to leave them food.
But that's
don't kill them, man. They're so harmless. There's nothing they can do to annoy you. If they have food, if you put food in a corner where they don't wander around, they're gonna mind their own business. And sometime in the next few years, they're gonna move out.
Back. No, if they find food, they'll keep coming back. So if you put food out for them, you'll never get rid of them.
But why do we get rid of ants? They don't do anything. They don't eat cables. They don't shit all over the place. They don't do anything. And I've had
They
pets
also
that were
don't
more
need to be
annoying
in my
than
house.
just ants.
I feel like this is just a conversation between somebody that likes ants and somebody that doesn't like ants. Like,
I think
if you replace,
personally anything smaller than my fist shouldn't exist. Just because they're just annoying at
we
that
just have 3
size.
chaos mythos left
But
in the wheel.
in the
I
interim,
wonder
I'll
who's
just
gonna win.
a house.
See, Alex, I
who
understand.
wants
I understand you,
ants
right?
in
If you
their house?
replace the
Let's be
word
honest.
ants with cats, I would feel the exact same way as you. You know, it's just I'm not really a fan of
don't
ants,
think-
but you know,
Are they comparable?
I mean, it's not comparable to me because I don't like ants and I like cats. But if someone that likes ants, you know, maybe they're the same thing.
I mean, it's not a.
Even if you like,
It's a
I've got nothing
logical
against
decision. My
I've
my
got nothing
mother
against
always
flies, but
hated
again,
ants.
I don't want them in my house.
Oh my god.
Uh,
All right, well, Chaos Myth is our winner, our runner-up, and our what do you call third place?
Sassy Boy said that ants can help to eat cockroaches.
What?
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 I don't know how big the ants are over there. We're talking like at least over here, tiny little fat things. Like
I mean, if there's like enough of them, I
they're
guess they
really,
could probably get one.
yeah, I mean, oh yeah, together. Like ants are amazing, like creatures in terms of their body strength and what they do and the way they work. Like, don't get me wrong, I've got much appreciation for ants. Again, just smaller than my fist, not in my house. I don't need it in my life.
Do you do you not like fish?
No, I don't actually. I like looking at them. Yeah, I guess little tropical fish I could deal with because they're in the water. They're not floating around, getting in my face and climbing up my back like ants do.
What else is smaller than your fist?
Gerbils, you don't really need them, do you?
Yeah, hamsters, like they're
Get rid
pretty
of
small,
those.
right?
Mice, rats, they can go.
What's the
I don't
long
mind butterflies, but
range?
again, they're still going to get in your face now and again, aren't they? So I can do without them. I'll survive.
Wait, Alex, how do you feel about cockroaches? Are they harmless?
The thing with cockroaches, they're a sign of an filthy house, right? So they're like kind of cockroaches
Wait,
and
aren't ants the same thing?
rats. They're symbol of disease and dirtiness, right? But ants, they're associated with great power to body ratio, order.
But they are as
Okay, but
panthers,
like
they're also associated with a dirty house. Like you will only get ants if you've got food lying around, because that's
No,
what they
that's
come
not
and
true.
look for.
No, that's not true. We had ants because we had a crack in our foundation, and they had their house, in a lack of a better word, they had the house underneath our house, and they would come inside the house through the foundation, right? So they lived underground, and they came in for warmth and exploration, and they moved into my room because I kept giving them food, like on purpose.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. They came so they dug into the foundations because they were looking for somewhere warm, and ants do that. But they came
Yeah.
into your house because you were leaving food around. So if you didn't leave food around, they wouldn't have come inside the property. They would have just gone around on the outside world looking for.
Yeah, that's true.
whatever.
That's true. Yeah, they move on if they don't find anything useful in the places they explore. They move on.
Indeed. So if you get ants, you just need to sweep up and then also spray the entrance with some chemicals just to really warn them off. Because as soon as one decides this is not a good place to go, then all the rest of them will go somewhere else as well.
Well, epic. 90%. All right, I was hoping for more, but I think that's good.
Yeah, one's not bad. One's I think above average. See, the thing is,
Yeah,
Alex,
everything
he
else-
wants ants. Ants are friends to him, you know? So I think he wants to get
That's
more
what I
of them.
wanted to say. My advice is try giving them food. They're a very interesting pet.
No, but if
I
you
mean,
give them food, they're going to come back. I don't want
yes,
them to come back. I'm not going to give them food.
No, but he does want them to come back. That's the difference between you two. Alex wants them to come back. You don't. You know?
again, I had ants for years, so that's
Well, I've heard of people doing that in like ant farms. You know,
yeah,
paint a couple of
that's a
panes of
very
glass,
interesting project.
bit of
Oh
sand,
my god, dude! I
and
thought you.
that's great because they're stuck in that little box, not roaming around my house and crawling up my neck while I'm sitting on the sofa. That's when the chemicals come out.
That just means
Bit
you're
of
not
bleach.
feeding them enough. You gotta. You gotta.
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh my god. I wonder what Maev would think. Do you guys think Maev is a ant
I know what
friend
Maya would
or
think.
a,
If you asked him that question now, he'd be like, "Oh, you know, I think I probably want to start talking about ants. I've just been thinking about ants. I don't know where this thought came from because you know he wouldn't have been listening to any of that conversation. He was just thinking
You're
of something
actually
else,
right.
and then just repeated what the people said. Yeah.
Oh my god, I am dying.
I think that Mayev could have like big killer ants where he lives, right? There might be not be the small black ones that I really like, that the ones that can't even bite you, right? So I think
Oh no,
he
we got
has
big.
like
We have big ants over here in Texas. Everything's bigger in Texas, even the fucking ants. Like some of them are gigantic, man.
Would you want
yeah,
them in your
well
house,
they're
Panda?
What?
Are you going to be leaving any food out for him tonight?
No, see, I am firmly on the okay. I am firmly in the like not a friend of ants club. I have this rule, okay? I don't I feel like I've talked about this on the stream as well, but I'm not 100% sure. My rule is no more than 4 legs, no less than 2 legs. That's my rule.
so you must hate caterpillars.
I do. Too many legs.
So no snakes, worms,
Not
no
enough
fish.
legs.
What about fish?
No legs.
Oh, okay. So they do still count as part of that rule. Fair enough.
Yeah,
At
yeah.
least you're sticking with it. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah.
It's good.
I'm not a fan of seafood. Like this rule actually like I'm pretty sure this rule holds true for basically everything. I can't think of anything with more than 4 legs that I like.
Well, as an average,
No,
the
it
thing
always
that people
spiders
fear
and bugs
most,
on there.
the things that people fear the most are multiple eyes, so more than two eyes, hair all over the body, and multiple legs. So according to this,
Okay,
the
okay.
creature that people are most afraid of are spiders.
That's true. Yes, I think that's probably a fact.
But that's weird because from an evolutionary standpoint, we are there. Spiders are not hunting us. I mean, it's quite hard to die from a spider bite. And I think
Yeah,
that's
but
weird. So it's all made up, our fears.
it just makes you feel like prickly, like tingly, you know? I don't like that feeling.
If I say that I had a spider as a pet,
Oh
will
my
that
god. Oh my god.
get me
See,
kicked out of the
I
stream or
get
something?
people have them as pets, and like I'd like to like them, but at the same time, they're not for me.
Yeah, smaller
Spiders,
than your fist.
smaller than
Hopefully.
my fist, they can
Hopefully
go.
smaller than your fist.
Hopefully, yeah, and even the ones that are bigger, they can go as well. They can definitely go. Because the thing is with spiders, and one of the reasons that people are so scared of it is because they are completely different to everything else. Like literally every other life form on the planet, they're not like spiders. Apart from water spiders and like that kind of aspect. So you get them deep underwater as well. And that's the other thing as well. Everything down there is fucking freaky and all. So yeah, there is a natural fear. It is almost like they're very alien because nothing else has that many legs, spins web like that. Yeah, they're not right.
They're not right.
Get rid of them.
I agree. I agree. Alex does not agree. Okay, you know what? I learned that I'm never going to
I think on
Alex's
that
house.
note, we probably better end the stream, and also just a personal reminder never to invite Spider-Man on the show.
Yeah. This is a good stream, a good ending to the stream. I know what I'm going to title the YouTube video now. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us.
Thanks, everyone.
Hopefully everybody has less than 4 legs and more than 2. So yeah.
More than 2. 2 or more.
Yeah, sure. Okay, have a good night, guys. Goodbye.
Have a good night.
Thanks all.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.